Most coaches really struggle to grow their business, especially at the start. And that's because they're working on the wrong things, or they're working on things that they don't need to be working on because they can be automated. So let's talk about that a bit. There are these necessary jobs that do have to happen, but you don't have to do them. You need to focus on what matters and automate the rest. So I spent months working on these little jobs, and they were such a time suck. It was insane. I would spend hours every week, and anytime I tried to expand, there would just be more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you cut out some of those jobs with no loss to your service quality. And I'm going to show you what I automated to cut out entirely and what I made easier with AI. So jumping right in, the first thing that you should be looking at is your calendar. Not your day set out, although time blocking is super helpful for making life easier, figuring out your time. But what I want to talk about is your booking system. Right now, if you don't have something like Calendly, some sort of automated system where a lead or a client can just book in to talk to you at a time that's right for you and right for them, then you are wasting so much time. If you are manually talking to anybody saying, hey, let's figure out a time, does 2 p.m. work for you? And they go, no, 2 p.m. doesn't work. What about 3? Oh, 3 doesn't work for me. Sorry. Can we do 4? No, look, 4's not fine. You know what? Let's do Tuesday. Oh, I can't do Tuesday. I'm already wasting your time right now just listening to all of that. Think of that and drag that out over days and days. What if they just went in, booked the time that was right for them, and showed up on the day? Super easy, right? You don't have to think about it at all. People just book in, your calendar fills up, it's great. And if you have to change it, you have to change it. Please, I implore you, if you don't have that set up, do it straight away. So Calendly, there's a free plan. There's things like TidyCal. I think that's got a really cheap lifetime deal, but look into doing that as soon as you can. Now, once this is done, what you might find happening is when you get on a call with someone, you don't necessarily know who they are, or you get caught off guard, you're a bit unprepared. So this is where you can use AI to learn more about them. So when I get on a call with someone, in most cases, I actually have a call in about 10 minutes where I don't know much about the guy. I had to do my homework manually. But most of the time, depending on which calendar they use and which channel they come through, if I'm getting on a call with somebody, I know a lot about them already. And I have a lot of information that I've gathered, and AI analyzes all that for me. And about 10 minutes before the call, I get an email that says, hey, you're about to talk to Jeff. Jeff works in this industry. Jeff is having this problem. He's told us this already. This is what he's thinking. Uh, and that is incredibly useful. Now, you might say that's not really saving time, but it is if I was going to do all that work manually. And it's such a big improvement to the client experience. When I talk to somebody on a call, they already feel familiar to me and I feel familiar to them. It's just me asking, hey, who are you? And hey, nice to see you, Steve. How you doing? How you doing with that problem you've been having? You can see and feel the difference there. Uh, so yeah, get your calendar set up. Figure out some AI to go with it if you want. I can talk to you more about that another time. You can use Make or I use HighLevel, the internal things there. But we base that off the questions that they answer when they book in the call, as well as any other information we've gathered. All right, moving right along. The next thing is emailing your leads. Now, this is something you should definitely be doing is anytime someone opts in, contact them immediately and follow up with them continuously until we get them to that calendar that we just talked about. We are working backwards here if you haven't noticed. Uh, but yeah, I need to tell you about Kevin. We need to talk about Kevin. He's a client that I worked with who was doing everything manually. When someone filled in a form on his website, there was nothing on the back end. So as soon as they filled in the form, he had their email, and maybe the next day he would email them back. He would send them out what they were asking for, but it was a terrible experience for the clients and it was super difficult for him as well. Nobody won in this. He was trying to be hyper personalized to make sure that whenever someone sent an email in, they got a response from him back that was high quality and directly from him. And that authenticity, while it is valuable, is sort of useless. It gets devalued when that time delay comes into things. So, uh, yeah, have a nurture sequence. Whenever anyone contacts you, have one email straight away at the very least. So if they're downloading a lead magnet, send an email out to them that's based on that. A default email, you can have a look at tweaking things around a bit. And you can, if we're going in the AI space, have the AI write the email for you, tailored to what they've asked. Now, this it really depends. If it's like an open form where they've asked you a proper question, you can use that. If it's just a lead magnet or something along those lines, you don't really need to do that. But if you're getting stuck writing an email sequence, like I do when I have to write 7 emails for uh, every different step of the process, that is where you can use AI to help you write those. My recommendation, write them yourself and then get AI to critique them. If you're really clever, you can use my Avatar GPT, which is in my free school community, and that teaches the AI to act like your ideal client. And you can write an email and say, "Hey, Avatar, what do you think of this email? Does this appeal to you? Is the tone right? Am I missing the mark here?" Super useful tool. But anyway, the point is, start emailing your leads, automate that process so they get at least 5 emails from when they first contact you, to keep following up with them, to try and get them on a call, and then try and book them as a client, get them on sessions, get them paying you, and more importantly, get you helping them. So, next step, again, moving backwards here, is actually having a lead magnet, building a lead magnet. It takes a lot of time to build a lead magnet, or it can. And a lot of that time isn't actually work building it, it's work thinking about it. It's work trying to put it all together. Now, you may end up trying to build a lead magnet that is valuable, but maybe a bit too specific, and takes you hours and hours and hours to put together. My first lead magnet was a PDF about hidden costs of branded merchandise, and it probably took me 2 weeks to write it. And I think 20 people downloaded it and nobody wanted it. Uh, the point of this is to, while you want to make your lead magnet valuable, make something fast, especially if you don't have one already. If you do not have a lead magnet that's going out to the world to get people to opt in and put their hand up saying, "Hey, I'm interested in this kind of thing," uh, definitely use AI to create something. I highly recommend a quiz. So some sort of quiz funnel is something I'm a big fan of, using a tool like ScoreApp. You can use AI to write the results, write the questions, and of course use your own brain power to figure out how this should all work. But it's super helpful there. Uh, and yeah, I have had clients that spend weeks and weeks creating, PDF lead magnets. I was actually speaking to one today. I've gone through and helped him build a quiz, an AI powered quiz. We did it in 2 1-hour sessions. He still has a little bit more work to do. But prior to that, I think for the past 3 weeks before, he was telling me how he was working on his PDF. And now, with that, with a bit of AI, in 2 3 hours, he's ready to go. He's got something he can start sending out to his list. Now, aside from this, there are the 3 big ones there. There are really endless possibilities. When it comes to automation, when it comes to AI, uh, they don't have to detract from the client experience. This is something that comes up a lot, is I want to do it myself. It's higher quality if I do it myself. Not necessarily true, and not necessarily true at scale. If you start working with a lot of people, it's very difficult to keep up that same level of service quality without some sort of automation. So keep that in mind. Uh, but yeah, in summary, get your bookings automated, build a nurture sequence and improve it with AI, and have a look at doing a dynamic lead magnet. The other benefit of those quizzes is you get a lot of that information that I was talking about that you get the summary on. So if they've answered all these quiz questions, that AI can analyze that and tell you, "Hey, Jeff is really struggling with this thing." Super useful to have all of these working together in a system. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. It was useful. Check out this next video over here, and I will see you in the next one.